Hola, ¿qué tal? So as you understood, we are already in Mexico. We crossed the border yesterday via Tecate. It's a lot more quiet than Tijuana, and everything went well. We didn't plan to cross, but as we arrived near the border, we just said, all right, let's do it now instead of waiting tomorrow morning. And it took us about half an hour to get the visas, and then another hour and a half to register the car for importation and return some documents we had in the passport to the US side. So all went really well. We found a spot where to spend the night in Tecate. It was the parking lot of the baseball stadium, but the police came around about, I don't know, 3 hours after we parked there to say that it's not safe. There's many people living under a bridge nearby, so we better move somewhere where there's more lights, or to move to a gas station not far. So we just moved not too far from there, because we had drunk wine to celebrate the easy border crossing and the kiddos were sleeping up there. So I didn't feel like taking my chances to get a ticket driving under the alcohol with kiddos not buckled. So we just moved 100 meters down the street, literally in a place where there's more lights, in front of restaurants. But the big surprise is it's raining.
It's almost
I can't believe
that it's raining.
It's almost the first. I mean, it's been a long time since Archie's, right? In Canyonlands, we haven't had rain in such a long time, and I know it's stupid, but you just, when you cross the border to Mexico, you just don't expect rain the next day and like clouds everywhere and kind of a winter weather. Everybody has like really proper winter coats. So yeah, it's fine, but we'll make it up for it, and today we'll try to head towards Ensenada to start the adventures in Baja. As much as the weather was a lot colder than we imagined, the locals really made it up by their warmth. It was really great to be able to speak Spanish again and to buy veggies and fruits for a lot cheaper than in the US. So we really stocked up on these for the next leg of our journey. We had been warned the danger about Baja California is not the people, but the roads. Gone were the shoulders, and the potholes were everywhere, especially the further south we went. And it was just the beginning. But look at the sceneries. We loved it so much, and we're so happy to be there, despite the slow progress made on the road. We made a stop in San Felipe, which was halfway to where we wanted to go, being Bahia de Los Angeles. It was great for the kids because they could play on the beach, and we're pretty much on our own there, being the low season, at least the local one. It was a charming little town where we felt safe and could really relax, and we slept in the downtown just by the side of the road. Although we had seen cactuses before, we really enjoyed every single one of them. They got us very emotional. Even when there were millions of them around us, we couldn't help staring at them and falling in love with this landscape. Baja's got something very special. It's so remote, so deserted, that it's a very special feeling. And it really made it up for the bad roads, which would get worse and worse, because hurricanes from the previous seasons destroyed entire sections of the roads and bridges. The roads seemed to be in very good state before, but unfortunately, every year hurricanes destroy parts of it. Despite not being a 4x4, Orca did a great job to take us pretty much everywhere we wanted to. But one of the challenges was for us to find places where to spend the night. We use a great application called Eye of a Lander, where travelers can drop GPS coordinates of places where they went to, including descriptions. But many of these places were no longer accessible because the road was just completely destroyed, and there were huge blocks on the side, so you couldn't just get out of the road. But we kept on going, and after taking the Highway 3, we switched to the Highway 5 and finally made it to the Highway 1. Now, when I say highway, it's not exactly the kind of highways we have in Europe or in the US. Especially when you're crossing big trucks, you definitely want to go a little bit on your right. Nevertheless, the sceneries remained absolutely stunning. And after the long hours it took us to cross the desert, we finally saw the sea. Alright, so we are in La Gringa. It's a beach just next to Bahia de Los Angeles, in the north of Baja California, and we found this great spot just next to the sea. And what is really funny is that by night at 3 a.m. it's high tide, and the road that you see next to the car is completely covered by the water, and on the left side the water rises as well, and it comes up to where pretty much time is running.
It took me some nights to get used to seeing the water rising to literally 2 meters on both the left and right of the van every night. But this place was magical, with amazing sunsets and even better surprise in the morning. I've got to admit, we spent so many hours just staring at the water whilst the kids were throwing stones into it. Whether it was sea lions, dolphins or birds fishing, there was constantly something going on there. Given the pace we had in the US, it was really nice to stay put for 4 or 5 days at the same place. The kids could play, we could spend time with them, relax, read books, meet other travelers who stayed at the same place. We had a really good time there. As much as the views were amazing from where we were parked, there was a hill with a cross at the top. And after spending a couple of days here by the beach, we couldn't resist anymore and had to climb there to get a better view on the surroundings. We waited for the low tides to start our hike because there's a passage that you cannot cross otherwise. As we went up, we quickly caught sight of Isla Ángel de la Guarda and the Sea of Cortez, with its stunning blue turquoise waters. At the top, we had a 360 degrees view on the surroundings, and our beach and orca seemed so tiny compared to the mountains and volcanoes around. And the view was absolutely stunning. The colors, the contrasts, made this place one of our favorites in Baja. Many people told us that Baja's got something very special, and we're still not sure whether it's this raw, rugged feel that makes this one of the most amazing places during this trip, but for sure we did fall in love with it, and it was just the beginning.